Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 123 Wrestling on SRB TV. I am your host for this evening, Nick Slade, along with my number one minion for this evening, Kristen.
Very happy I write your checks.
Yeah, you don't. I don't get paid, but as you can
Exactly.
see, because I am hosting this evening, we are obviously going back to the Impact Zone for TNA Rebellion. Let's go for it. Let's get right into this thing. Are you excited, Kristen? I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Do you want to talk the biggest elephant in the room since we last talked about TNA?
It's the first post Scott Demore pay per view.
Well, the Scott D'Amore part, like
Uh,
he
that's kind of
they
been well covered, hasn't it?
we no, I'm not saying just a quick I'll you know what? I'll do the quick recap on this because I have been keeping up with the story on this. I will do this part. The rest is you.
All
So
right, go for
this is the only like really big thing to talk about TNA, and that is that uh the higher ups at Anthem gave Scott D'Amore the boot. As of right now, there has been no 100% reason as to why they've given the boot. There's been a lot of speculation, one of which being that Scott D'Amore tried to offer Anthem higher ups a lump sum that he got that investment to buy TNA from Anthem. That was one reasoning. Another one is they wanted to change the direction of TNA to something that Anthem sees fit because Anthem, of course, owns other like is part of other sporting companies and stuff like corporations and stuff like that. So suffice to say, there's been a lot of heat. There's a lot of talk back and forth in the locker room, but it does look like things have settled down. Everybody who wants to go has gone. Everybody who wants to stay has stayed. Even the more machine guns have left. And as of this recording, thank God we did today. There's heavy reports saying that they are signing with AEW. So clap. Oh my God, I love it. You're doing it so lightly. Your mic's not even picking it up. I love that. But yeah,
Pretty good mic
that's all
too.
I got. The rest is you.
But yeah, it's weird though. So you would think, as much as they said Scott Demore was involved with the creative, that there'd be a noticeable shift by this point,
Hmm.
but there really isn't. It's the same quality. It's the same
Hmm.
booking, and it's because really they left the same booking team in charge. It's the same booking team. It's just without Scott Demore.
Okay.
And let's far be it for me to undermine Scott Demore's contributions, but I do think it's no one man who does everything.
Hmm.
And I do think that's one thing I heard. That's another speculative thing that some people at Anthem were annoyed that he was getting all the credit from the public because a lot of them put a lot of hard work into TNA as well.
Hmm.
And from what I'm seeing, it's the same quality. Nothing's really changed since he left. It's the same booking style, it's the same quality, and they've hired a lot of big names in recent weeks. Like we know Hard to Kill, they got Nick Nemeth. They've signed Mustafa Ali. We'll get to him on tonight's show.
Wait, did they
Mohi,
sign him?
I
Sign him? I haven't heard anything about that. Did they
yeah, he's
actually
not.
sign him?
I guess he's freelance still, but he's still very much so with TNA right now.
Right.
They signed Hammerstone. They signed him to a contract.
Hmm.
And let's see, they signed a bunch of other. They re-signed Trent Seven. They've been re-signing a bunch of people. They brought on the Grizzled Young Veterans. I haven't seen yet if they've signed them yet, but they're still wrestling on TNA. So they're
Hmm.
bringing in new people, and yeah, some people have left. But honestly, the mostly machine guns, they've done literally everything there is to do in TNA. They've won every title, every major title that they can win. So like they're both world champion, both X Division champion, both tag team champion. So they want to go try something else. Well, fine. Best of luck. Hopefully, AEW doesn't waste them like they do most of their roster.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling the Young Bucks are going to get their tag titles back. But that'll be our. We'll talk about that for our dynasty reactions.
Oh boy, we have so much to talk about in our fucking AEW predictions.
And people
Uh,
think we're just hating on AEW. It's like no. It's like look. Well, I
Wait,
guess
wait
we'll
till you
get.
see our predictions for Dynasty on the road so far segment. I saw a review. Let's just say this. I saw a review for that Dynamite episode last Wednesday. An hour of it was dedicated to what they showed. The rest
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
we could
whatever.
definitely talk about.
That we're
massive
TNA
blunder.
focused. We're gonna enjoy ourselves
Yeah,
as TNA.
we're
Go
gonna
on.
enjoy some TNA here. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Okay. So our first match on the pre-show, the current TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions Spitfire, the team of Danny Luna and Joey Threat, would be defending against former champions Decay. Now, since you guys watched Hard to Kill with me, a lot's been going on with the Knockouts tag titles, so let me go over that real quick to catch everybody up. I get down here. Okay, so last we saw Decay had defeated MK Ultra at Hard to Kill to win the tag team titles. 41 days later, at TNA No Surrender, MK Ultra regained the tag titles in a rematch.
That was quick.
But then just 2 weeks later, they lost the titles to Spitfire at Sacrifice.
Okay, are you sure TNA booking hasn't been changed? Because that sounds like old school TNA booking.
Well, come on, even Scott the Moore titles were changing like this. And I think the main reason is either Killer Kelly or Masha Slamovich were negotiating their contracts. So that could be a reason they decided to drop the belts to Spitfire. And of course, the new champions are Danny Luna and Jody Threat, both let's see, veteran wrestlers. Both that's another thing I know. Like if you notice, the past kind of basically a couple of years, TNA has picked up a lot of UK talent, especially talent that were once in NXT UK, for the betterment of TNA. Especially they got Trent Seven. We'll get at him. So Decay is now. This is pretty much straightforward. Decay, they lost to MK Ultra. These are the new champs. They want their titles back. It's pretty straightforward. Since Spitfire just got the belts, I know you're thinking, oh, that doesn't matter. But I don't really see a reason to throw the belts right back to Decay. And they're really pushing Spitfire right now. So I think Spitfire is going to retain.
Well,
it's on the pre-show also.
That was the other part. I'm like, well, let's talk about the other elephant in the room. It's like this is a pre-show match. So, and it's rare, very rare for any pro wrestling show to change a title on a pay-per-view
Last
pre-show.
time TNA did it, they changed the digital media title. I think it's Slammiversary
That's
pre-show.
the digital media championship. That's like no offense, it's a mid-card belt, but it's like the lowest tier mid-card belt.
It's their TV belt.
Yeah.
Current champ is Crazy Steve, by the way. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, but yes, I agree. Spitfire. I wouldn't be surprised. This is TNA we're talking about, but it's still the pre-show match is the big asterisk on this. So Spitfire retains.
Asterisk. Our next pre-show match is the Ace Bay Connection, aka American Bullet Club, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, teaming up with Leon Slater, who's known for wrestling in Rev Pro over in Progress Wrestling over in England.
I know who I know who Leon Slater is. Cultaholics, Tom Campbell used to announce for the wrestling promotion he first started with. So I am definitely aware of him. He's very talented.
Their team up together to take on the Rascalz trio of Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Myron Reed. Last we saw, we'll go a little bit into the tag titles history for this. We go down to combined reigns. There we go. Okay, so last we saw at Hard to Kill, ABC had retained their tag titles, but at Sacrifice, they end up losing the titles to the System, which is a team of Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. So this is just a continuation of the previous blood feud between ABC and the Rascalz. So of course, there's continue this feud. This might be the end of this feud. I'm not sure, but the ABC is aligning with Leon Slater to take on the Rascalz. I'm not really sure. This could go either way to me, depending on what direction they want to go. But since Leon Slater's not a regular, that kind of makes it the Rascalz might win. What do you think?
I'll go Slater and ABC. I think, like I said, Slater is the new guy. I know he's only been there for a short while, but there's a lot of hype behind him. So having him be in a match with
hold on a second. I forgot to mention. He signed with TNA past October, so he is on the roster.
Who?
Leon Slater.
Okay. No, I know. Yeah, I know that. Like I knew that. I
had to specify because TNA uses freelance talent a lot.
Yeah. Oh, gee, I don't know. Looking at this card, I'm not surprised. Anyways, no, Slater and ABC, I feel like Slater, he signed in October, he's still one of the more up and coming ones, and having him in a match with like let's be honest, like five other, like at least 4 to 5 other veterans. I honestly, I don't know anything about Myron Reed, so I can't
Um,
say.
he's been off again, on again, member of the Rascals for several
Okay.
years.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, so yeah, you have like five other very experienced guys in there. It's gonna be like a really fun like pre-show opener. Yeah, but I'll give it the Slayer ABC.
Yeah, Myron Reed's a three-time MLW. What's the name of that belt again? World middleweight champion. He's the only one that held it more than once. So yeah, he was in MLW. Now he's wrestling TNA with his fellow Rascals.
Would I tell you a couple like last was it last month? I feel old. Last month I actually saw Zachary once in person.
Yeah,
I didn't say hi or anything, but he was with his fine as hell fiance, Gigi Dolan. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't sure, and then I checked her backside. I'm like, yep, that's her.
you really get announced on public here. You're looking at another man's fiance's butt.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't looking my way, so I was looking her way.
To be fair, he can kick your ass. So
Probably, but it would have been worth it.
it would have been worth it. Okay, now you say that, I was really going back and forth. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with Slater and ABC.
You know, you can stick with Rascals. I'm the
No, I was thinking about it, but you made some good points. So I'm gonna go with that.
yes. Listen to the guy who doesn't watch TNA on a daily basis. That's a smart move.
Well,
But this is
honestly,
how.
this is like 50-50. So I was just kind of thinking of one thing. Other Slater's one. You made a good point about Leon Slater.
Okay. I mean, like this is. I'll be honest. I do the wrestling predictions on
Come on,
Discord,
Chris. You know I'm not a follower.
and this is a majority of the time. This is how I win the WWE portion of the predictions because I'm like everybody's more AEW, and I'm like both. So it's like, well, I guess I win because like I actually watch.
I
Yeah.
actually
Okay.
watch. All
Go
right, so now
on.
to the main show. So this one's interesting. So we got Rich Swann taking on I Believe in Joe Hendry.
I'll let you do the clap because like we're off. We're gonna be off. Sync, so do it again. I'll clap. Do it again. I'll clap.
I believe in Joe Hendry,
There you go. Uh,
which is most favorite theme song in the world.
yes, it is.
Uh, so yeah, when we get a little bit into why these two are fighting each other, because lots happened since Hard to Kill with Rich Swann. So after AJ Francis, aka formerly known as Top Dollar in WWE, or
More
some
like flop dollar.
yeah, I have no idea why this guy is getting such heavy booking in three promotions right now: TNA, MLW, and NWA. He's getting pushed in all three. Why? 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 Why?
No, no, quit asking.
I don't know.
God damn
But
it.
he made his TNA debut at Hard to Kill, and he has since been the subject of ridicule by Joe Hendry, who's made some his usual funny music videos mocking Francis' appearance, pointing out how he's the cheesiest champion. It's funny. You just go look it up. Mocking his wrestling ability and his musical talents. Fair. But when Francis retaliated against Henry, Henry was backed up by Rich Swann at first. Although in No Surrender, Francis approached Swann and said they didn't have to be on opposite sides. They didn't have to be enemies. They could just be friends. And then on the March 14th edition on TNA Impact, Francis and Henry faced off in Francis' TNA singles debut, which he won after Swann turned on Joe Hendry.
Mm.
To the shock of everybody. So Francis Swann would now dub their new alliance as First Class with all the S's as dollar signs because why not? For the following week. So some weeks later on the April 11th edition, Hendry confronted First Class after a tag team match, this time mocking Swann for turning on him and aligning with Francis. He would then challenge Swann to face him at Rebellion, which has been made official. So I think ultimately this is Joe Hendry trying to get back at AJ Francis, and Swann's his obstacle in that way. It's the first time Swann's been a heel, and God, I can't remember the last time Swann was a heel. I don't know if he's been a heel in TNA, but otherwise, but I think Hendry is going to beat Swann here to try to get another shot at Francis.
Mm-hmm.
What you thinking?
I like Joe Hendry.
No, do you like him or do you believe in him?
I believe in him.
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Yes, I'll go with Hendry on this. If you're all
Yes.
right and like Rich Swann is the thing in his way of getting to AJ Francis, this is the match to take out Swann.
Oh,
So
by the way, TNA on their Twitter/X account posted a compilation all of Hendry's music videos he's done since he's been in TNA. It's like 22 minutes long. It's funny. They go back and look at all of them. So if you guys want to check
Oh,
that out.
oh my God, I love his one he did for
Oh,
the
Edge's
Edge's
bitch.
bitch. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
that was funny. Okay, so next up's one I'm really looking forward to: Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone III in a
Three.
last man standing match.
I have to see two.
I'll have to catch you up. So, at Hard to Kill, Hammerstone made his TNA in-ring debut in a losing effort of Josh Alexander in a very, very good match. 2 months later, after Hammerstone has officially signed with TNA Sacrifice,
Sacrifice.
at Sacrifice. Every time I can't think of Sacrifice without Scott Steiner. The two had a rematch, and Alexander gained a victory after hitting. Sorry, I had to specify. Alex Hammerstone got the victory after hitting Alexander with a low blow. The referee didn't see it. So Alex Hammerstone cheated to get the victory, tied him up 1-1, and then he stole. He had the gall to steal Alexander's wrestling headgear as a trophy. That bastard.
How dare him?
How dare he? On the April 4th edition of TNA Impact, TNA has announced a rubber match between Hammerstone and Alexander for Rebellion. The following week, Alexander and Hammerstone got into a pull-apart brawl at the start of the show, as you do, to which the former upped the ante by challenging the latter to a last man standing match.
Hey, when was the
This
last?
one,
Go on.
hmm?
Go on. Go on.
What
No,
was
go on.
the last man standing match at TNA? I don't know. I had to look that up.
I don't think I've
This
ever.
one, my heart says Josh Alexander, but my brain says Hammerstone. I feel like Hammerstone, he's new, he's big, he's bad. They're really pushing him right now. He's a full-time member of the roster now. And I feel like Alexander can be okay losing this match. And they can continue to push Hammerstone, who I see as definitely a future world title contender. What you
Okay.
got?
Hammerstone. Just because like Alexander's a vet, Hammerstone's a new guy, and like Hammerstone, this will make Hammerstone look more dominant, perhaps eventually going for one of the championships.
Yeah, he's
So
definitely going to go for a title soon. I don't know which one.
I just
So
get
we
really,
both agree on Hammerstone. Okay.
yeah, it's
So
been a while
next,
since
hmm?
last man standing match. Since we've been doing these, I don't think I've ever seen the TNA slash Impact last man standing match. That's rare. That's a good kind of rare though.
Let me
Like
see.
AW steel cage match is rare.
Last man standing match. WWE, TNA. Oh, I don't think this is up to date because it only goes up to 2017.
Mm,
I had to look it up later
okay.
when the last one is. So yeah, next up, Jordan Grace will be defending the TNA Knockouts World Title against Steph DeLander, accompanied to the ring by her partner in crime, Matt Cardona. So if any of y'all out there are not familiar with Steph DeLander, she has been Matt Cardona's, as I said, partner in crime as he goes on his dominant runs, being king of the Indies,
Hmm.
and so she's been with him a lot. So let me catch up with everybody else. Okay, so, on the March 28th edition of TNA Impact, Steph DeLander returned to TNA, and with the help of returning Matt Cardona, she won the second ever 8-4-1 match to become the number one contender to Jordan Grace's Knockouts title for Rebellion. For those of you who don't remember last year, an 8-4-1 match essentially it starts off as an 8-man tag. The winning team goes to a four-way match, and the winner of that four-way match becomes the number one contender. Nick Aldis won the last one last year. So they had the knockouts version of that this time around for so now Seth Delander's the number one contender. She's got Cardona in her corner. And if y'all remember, Cardona and Grace have a history with each other because Cardona's the one who took the digital media title from Jordan Grace, who was the inaugural champion. There's a little history here. This one, I kind of lean towards Jordan Grace because Seth Delander and Cardona are never really full time anywhere. They kind of go from company to company. It kind of depends how long the two are going to stick around in TNA. Since Grace, I'm going to go with Jordan Grace here.
Jordan Grace. Same here. Like I know who. Luckily, I know who Steph Delander is because I keep up with Matt Cardona. I'm not for them all the time, but I keep up with usually most of his indie tour stuff, and she's the one been tagging along ever since
I follow him on
Chelsea
Twitter.
Green got re-signed to WWE. So like, yeah, I see Grace retaining. Like it should be a good match. Be surprised if Delander does win, but yeah, I see Grace retaining here.
If he wins, then it probably means they're going to be sticking around a little longer.
Hmm.
McIntyre is definitely a guy. If TNA really wanted to invest in him, that could be a top guy in the company.
Right.
All right, so we both agree on Jordan Grace. Next up, this match is personal. It's Eric Young versus Frankie Kazarian. Full Metal Mayhem. So let's get the backstory on this thing.
So what is his
Eric,
Full Metal Mayhem match, Nick?
anything made out of metal is legal.
Oh, cool.
Basically a TLC match without the ladder, without having to climb the ladder.
Go on.
Yeah, so if it's made out of metal, it's legal. So Eric Young and Frank Kazarian have been embroiled in a rivalry ever since the January 18th edition of TNA Impact. This feud's been going about 4 months. When Frank Kazarian attacked Eric Young after they lost a tag team match, because Kazarian vowed to make 2024 his year to win the TNA World title and forever be remembered as a king of TNA, much like he perceives Eric Young to be. Basically, Kazarian seeing all these other TNA originals becoming a TNA World Champion, and he hasn't done it. Like he saw Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Eric Young, and now it's gotten to him because he's tried a couple times to get the world title and he's come up short. So he's finally just snapped. And so he feels like he has to take out Eric Young to take that next step.
Mm-hmm.
So the two would eventually have a singles match at No Surrender, where the winner would earn a TNA World title match at Sacrifice. Eric Young won that match.
Excuse me, you mean Sacrifice?
Sacrifice. Eric Young won that match, and then after the match, Kazarian attacked the referee in anger. Because he attacked the referee, TNA's Director of Authority, Santino Marella, suspended Kazarian for his actions because he was a naughty, naughty boy. Kazarian, however, continued to target Eric Young anyways, because he don't play by the rules, you see, because he's a rebel like that. And he ended up costing Eric Young the world title against Moose at Sacrifice. Bastard. 2 weeks later, on the March 21st edition of TNA Impact, Young conducted a promo on the entrance ramp, calling out Kazarian and challenged him to a Full Metal Mayhem match at Rebellion, and it would be made official by TNA. So here we are. To me, I feel this is the culmination of this feud. And normally I would go with a good guy, Eric Young, on this, but I do have a feeling if they are planning for Kazarian to go for the world title sometime this year, then I think Kazarian's going to win. Especially because it's a Full Metal Mayhem match, so he can pull all kinds of shenanigans to win.
I'll go with Eric Young to be different.
Just to be different.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely leans more towards Kazarian considering this feud, how long this feud's been going for. But I wouldn't be surprised if Young picks up the win here.
Okay. So our first match I think we disagreed on. So we'll have. Hey, that's fine.
Well, yeah, we had the pre-show match, but you changed your mind the last goddamn minute.
Well, yeah, because I was kind of leaning one way or the other. I'm allowed to change my mind. This is America last time I checked. Let's see. Next up, for the X-Men title, this is going to be good. Mustafa Ali with defending his title against Jake something. So let's give a little backstory on this. So, as we remember, Mustafa Ali made his debut at Hard to Kill. It was really cool they got him. And then he would eventually start a presidential campaign to become the next X Division champion because he's doing basically a Donald Trump style gimmick.
It's what he wanted. It's what he wanted to do in WWE before they booted him.
Yeah, so I'm glad TNA's letting him do it. So and he's been really funny with it. Like it's not like he's doing a Donald Trump impression. He's just taking a lot of the elements of his campaign and making it really funny because he's using the good hands as his little cabinet. And so at No Surrender, at the main event, he challenged Chris Sabin for the X-Men title and won in a really good main event match, which is the first time the X-Men title's main event at a pay-per-view in a while. So yeah, Mustafa Ali, he kept his campaign promise. He is now the X Division champion, and now he is continuing to make the X Division great again, make TNA great again, make Ali great again. And so now, let me get back over here. On the March 21st edition of TNA Impact, Jake Something won a Rebellion referendum six-way match to earn a TNA X title opportunity at Mustafa Ali at Rebellion. And in related news, his former slash quote unquote cousin, uh, why am I forgetting his name now? Cody Deaner. Cody Deaner is now aligning back himself with Jake Something and helping him against Ali in the good hands. So Cody Deaner's a face again. So I don't, but it doesn't say he's going to be in his corner here. So I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be Ali versus Jake Something. Now Jake Something, since he's come back to TNA, I think it was at Bound for Glory, has been doing really good. He's a big guy, but he can, like you've seen him. He's big, but he can fly. And I would like it'd be cool if Jake Something won, but I feel like he's still too early on in this run, and he's really killing it with his gimmick. So I see Ali retaining.
I see. I hate to agree with you too. Yeah, I see Ollie retaining. Like maybe I could see Jake Something win, and this being the end of Ollie's run with TNA for now, and he goes off elsewhere.
He's only been there a
But
few months.
but like once again, this is a wrestling promotion I'm not familiar with, so part of me's going off the fact that anything could happen.
I mean, yeah,
So
Ali is freelance. I don't know how if it's paid per appearance or something like that.
so if this is like Mustafa Ali saying goodbye for TNA for now, I could easily see Jake Something win. So I'm gonna go with Jake Something.
Oh, I need to make a correction. Hard to Kill's where they announced Mustafa Ali was coming. He actually made his debut on Impact January 25th.
Okay.
So it's a little correction there. Gotta get my facts straight.
My pick hasn't changed though.
All right. So the next two matches are connected. So both the tag team title match with the System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, taking on Speedball Mountain, Mike Bailey and Trent Seven, as well as the TNA World title match of Moose versus Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler.
We'll start with the tag title match first.
So the tag titles, as I mentioned before, the System won the tag titles back at, I believe I said Sacrifice, didn't I?
Sacrifice, yeah.
Because we had No Surrender and Sacrifice.
Sacrifice, yeah.
I mean, yes, it was Sacrifice. So they won the titles at Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
So back at TNA Hard to Kill, Moose put together a group called The System, which makes up of himself, Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, and Brian Myers. And as I remember that night, Moose won the TNA World title against Alex Shelley, which was surprising at the time because I thought that eventually they were going to do Shelley Sabin, but I guess if they ever were going to do that, plans changed probably because they knew that they were probably on their way out, which is why they had Chris Sabin drop the title to Mustafa Ali. But now the System has been running things since January, been dominating. Let me get over. Oh, shoot. Went too far. Yeah. So yeah, we go ahead and get the backstory for both matches because they're connected. At Hard to Kill, Moose defeated Alex Shelley to win the TNA World title. However, as he and his stablemates in the System were set to celebrate, they were interrupted by the debuting Nick Nemeth, formerly Dolph Ziggler, who immediately attacked Moose. On the subsequent episode of TNA Impact, Nemeth made his intentions clear about becoming the next TNA World Champion. 2 months later, on the March 14th episode, after Nemeth and Speedball Mountain defeated Steve Macklin and the Rascalz, not the Radicals, that's a different group. The Rascalz, the System attacked and laid out all three men. So Nemeth has been aligning himself with Speedball Mountain to fight up against the System. And because the System attacked them and laid them all out, it was decided that the System would defend the tag titles against Speedball Mountain and Moose would defend the title against Nick Nemeth. So,
first match, tag title match.
Mm-hmm. So my reasoning is connected to both. The System has been dominant for the past 4 months with them getting all three belts. However, I do see them really wanting to put the rocket on Nick Nemeth now. And since I think Moose is going to lose his world title to Nick Nemeth, I think they'll go ahead and have the System lose the tag titles as well as Speedball Mountain. So I'm going to go with Speedball Mountain for the tag titles and Nick Nemeth for the world title.
Still horrifying imagery if you think about it in real life. Speedball Mountain.
Speedball Mountain. That kind of speedball.
Kind of agree, kind of disagree with your pick. So I'll start with the TNA World Tag Team Championship. See, this is where I'm conflicted because I think somebody from the system is retaining. Like, I don't know which one, but I feel like somebody's gonna retain from the system. To kind of still kind of sort of keep them relevant, like how they did Judgment Day and WWE, where like they lost some titles, they got a title back or helped keep a title, so like that'll still keep their momentum going, and that's my
Then they had the
mindset
vacate
looking into
title.
this.
Then they
So
had the
I'm
vacate.
I'm gonna pick as much as I would love Speedball Mountain to win. I'm gonna pick the system to retain the tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, they're gonna strap if they're strapping the rocket, they might as well do it at one of TNA's big pay-per-views. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say Nick Nemeth to win the TNA World Championship, so the internet will explode.
Yeah.
I mean Moxley,
I don't think they'd wait till Slammiversary. That's just too much of a wait.
yeah, I mean the internet will explode with Moxley winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So like, let's
We live
make
in
it blow up
strange
even
times.
more.
We live in very strange times.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
What's that old Chinese saying? May you live in interesting times, which I think is supposed to be a curse. Which I don't think that's supposed to be a compliment.
Well, because yeah, because it's monotony. Monotony is a curse. Like doing the same thing over and over again till you lose your mind.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think interesting time means also like a lot of bad stuff happens too. So I think that's what it means. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
yeah. Correct me too. I'm
Comments.
not sure.
I said chat like we're live.
They know
Comments.
what you meant.
Comment section. So yeah. So we'll disagree a little bit on tag titles, but we do agree on the world title. Which if Nick Nemeth does win the TNA world title, because I think Moose, this is his second run with the belt, and he has held it for about 4 months. So I think he can afford to not have another long reign with the title. And
Hmm.
I think Nick Nemeth, I don't know how long they've signed him for, whether it's a year or 2 years. Like similar situation when they put the knockouts title on Naomi when they had her. You want to use Nick Nemeth while you have him. He's a name. He can get eyes on the product. You put the world title on him. It's common sense.
Yeah, it's weird. We live in a time where there's a possibility, knock on wood, that like two former WWE guys will be at the top of two very different mountains right now. Like
Like a speedball mountain.
probably. Oh, they have to quickly jump on it first before it takes off. Yeah, well, Moxley with IWP and then Nick Nemeth with the TNA World, like that's insane. We live in
I
insane
know.
times in pro wrestling.
I know.
Um, yeah,
All right.
but
So I think we have to go ahead and decide what will be the best match of the night. What do you think?
give me hmm.
This is hard because I see about three contenders.
Not really. I'll go with Alexander Hammerstone III.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Full Metal Mayhem could be good. World top, but yeah, I was ultimately going to probably agree with Last Man Standing. You got Josh Alexander. You got Hammerstone.
No, time out. Pick something different. We've matched so many matches here for predictions. Pick something different.
Okay,
Well,
aside from Alexander versus Hammerstone, I'll go with man. Ali something could be good. Moose Dimith. It's hard. I'll go Full Metal Mayhem because that's always fun.
okay then, there we go. We like, except for maybe like two matches, like agreed. No, one match. We've agreed on like most of this card together.
Yeah, I think we disagreed on the tag team title match, and we disagreed on Full Metal
As-
Mayhem.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will. I guess I'll wrap things up here. So that's gonna do it, folks,
As you do.
for our predictions for TNA Rebellion,
Ruh, ruh,
uh,
ruh, ruh, yeah.
2024. So other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like it just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about some TNA goodness, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit that bell icon as well. Let us know what your thoughts are on TNA Rebellion 2024. Who you think is going to win the big one? Who you think is going to win the small ones? Who you think overall is going to have the best moment of the night and the best match? Let us know in the comments down below. But down want you to have our predictions overall. But most importantly, we thank you for watching. So of course, Nick, aside from this channel, where can they find you elsewhere on the internet?
Well, you can find little old me over on the socials. You can find me on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Twitter X's, and all that stuff. But you can also, while you're at it, go ahead and check out another YouTube channel that I help out with from time to time called the Y Files, that I'm a member of the writing and research team on. It's a really fun channel that covers all kinds of mysteries, government cover-ups, UFOs, Bigfoots, all that fun stuff. So go ahead and check out their YouTube channel. We're getting close to, I think, 4 million subscribers, which is crazy because this channel's been blowing up the past couple of years. But yeah, go ahead and check out the YouTube channel. Go to thewyattfiles.com. Get yourself a Hecklefish t-shirt. Get yourself a Hecklefish mug. Get yourself a Hecklefish plushie. It talks and everything. And I know you'll like it because, he's a strict but fair lord.
And if you want to check out our pal Mo's stuff, you can check him out on the socials at AfroMoBro. As far as we know right now, he will be returning for us for both Rebellion and Dynasty for reactions. Okay. If you want to check out our reactions to the last big TNA event, Hard to Kill, I guess the end of the D'Amore era, if you kind of look at it like that, you can check out our reactions on this channel. You can also finally check out our reactions to WrestleMania 40 Night 1 and Night 2. We promise the timestamps are coming. I know some people more prefer just clicking on timestamps of reactions. We're going to get to that. We promise. We also have actual regular reactions coming, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah.
Speaking of things that are coming, when's that Royal Rumble vlog happening?
So until next time, I'm Tristan.
I'm Nick Slade.
And this has been a very not so sacrifice-filled episode of 1, 2, 3 Wrestling. And we will see you guys later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out any of our previous reactions,
as well as one of our other SRB shows,
check out one of the playlists down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
you can find us on Twitter and Stardust
at Super React Bros,
as well as on Facebook
at Super Reaction Bros.